So here I have Magic version 5.5.2 running. I have codified one table with one HTTP verb from the Magic CRM database. More specifically, I codified the roles table and I created one HTTP endpoint. I removed authentication because I wanted to have a fair test where the same logic is running in Magic as it is running in the native C# endpoint controllers. And in fact, I can codify it again. Then we can go try out my endpoint here, get. As you can see, it successfully returns 2 rows. Now, here I have a program that is basically a console program. It uses a stopwatch to time things. Then it has a loop with 100 iterations, creating an HTTP client from magic.http and basically retrieving get, passing in this URL, which actually points to my Magic CRM roles read invocation. And then it measures how many milliseconds this requires. I'm going to build it. And then I'm going to run it without debugging. So it took 1069 milliseconds. And that was 100 invocations. So now let's have a look at how much time we require with a pure C# solution. And here I have a pure C# solution. It's a .NET Core Web API controller. There's one endpoint in it that's doing a get, returning an enumerable of row, which is my view model up here, my DTO. It manually connects to the exact same database as my Magic app and opens the connection. It creates a command and executes a reader and returns every single result from that table it selects from. So let's try this guy out. .NET Run. And just to make sure we have the exact same environment, I'm gonna refresh my browser here, proving that the app is up running and also making sure there are no JIT CLR compilations affecting the result in any way. Here you can see the results of invoking that endpoint. Then here I have the exact same profiling logic. It creates 100 HTTP GET invocations and runs towards my endpoint, except I've changed the URL of the endpoint. And I'm still building this one in release. So the only real difference here then is that one of my web APIs was a pure C# solution, while the other one was a Magic and Hyperlambda solution. So let's look at the differences. Now I want to emphasize that Magic isn't as fast as a C# pure, and it will never be because it does have some overhead. So, but let's look at exactly what that overhead is. So from 1000 milliseconds to 770 milliseconds. That is an improvement of 25% from going from Magic to Hyperlambda, ignoring every single other aspect. Here I have a Medium article written by James Judd. I'm going to link to it in the description of this YouTube video. He benchmarked ASP.NET Core versus Django and Laravel. Django is a Python framework that allows you to do similar things as Magic. And so is arguably Laravel, except it's a PHP framework. Now, he has exposed the code in GitHub repository somewhere. You can read this article yourself. He also has a part 2 where he includes Node.js. So the performance here is that an ASP.NET Core web API requires this amount of time to invoke an HTTP REST endpoint returning books. Django Python requires this amount, so it's like roughly 3 times slower. And Laravel requires this amount of time to evaluate the same endpoint, which implies that ASP.NET Core is roughly 7 times faster than Laravel and PHP and roughly 3 times faster than Django. Now, I haven't actually tested his tests myself, so I'm going to have to assume that he speaks the truth in this article, but I doubt that he is lying. These numbers seems to be relevant according to my own experiences in these regards. So that would put Magic roughly up here, being 33% slower than a pure ASP.NET Core web API, ignoring the fact of that the web API I created in C# doesn't have filtering or paging or querying or anything. But if you still take them as comparing apples and apples, which it's really not, it's more like comparing apples and a basket of apples, where the basket is Magic, then this would put Magic up to here, roughly at 15 milliseconds something. This means that Magic is more than 2.5 times as fast as Django. And it means that Magic is roughly 5.5 times faster than Laravel. And that's pretty cool, I think. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.